Welcome back to Team Fortress TV. This is Admirable with Ryushi and Ducky. A little bit of confusion there. I think we thought the interview had started, but we are actually here with Hohi, Heis, Nadir, and Sun E-Thug as soon as I gave him the info. But Ryushi, ask these kids some questions.
Well, of course, TLR winning that over two games. Two close games at that. I mean, a 3-2 and a 4-3. Hiss, as captain of TLR, how do you feel right now? Apart from happy.
Feel really good. Yeah, we're pretty pleased. We were quite poor, maybe on Metalworks. Probably a lot down to myself and how well Reverto did it. Like double solid bombs, I suppose, was quite difficult to deal with. But yeah, we're happy.
Okay, that's great. Rake actually in Twitch chat calling out Reverto as mediocre gamers. He says that your playstyle can't be beaten by mediocre gamers. And then in brackets Reverto. So do you actually think that about your opponents, or is he just being a fool?
No, he's just messing around. He doesn't mean it.
Yeah, of course. Generally, we're pretty kind to each other up at this high level of tier 2, aren't you? But of course, I mean, did you have any specific strats come into this? I saw Calho once again running that heavy instead of that pocket soldier on Metalworks. That seems to be a very popular strat. I've seen that quite a few times. And that really seemed to slow the game down even more, because I mean, we had some really stalematey rounds on both Badlands and Metalworks. Do you intend for stalemates? I mean, obviously it can't be fun.
No, I don't think so, but I think ours and Reverto's style is maybe similar. We don't want to make too many mistakes. I think we took more risks because, well, we did take more risks. We piled people just onto the point for no reason, really. Wanted to try and get that cap and get back in at 2-2 so we could take the third round. And obviously we made some mistakes and took some high risks, high reward play. But I think kind of just figured out we kind of evolved and they maybe didn't. Whereby obviously we ran the heavy and we knew that was effective against them in the other maps, like against Evercat. So, but obviously we didn't run the sniper like they did, but it still seemed to work.
Okay, great. And moving on to Nadir, of course, this was your Premiership debut on Soldier, which of course is not your main. You are, of course, a main demo man. How different is it playing Soldier in such a high league?
Actually, yeah, it's my first official on Premiership, and it's kind of difficult to adapt because the level is very high over there. And I played a lot for team play, you know, making noise, playing like a bait, and yeah, and making a lot of noisy. Special dedicates for TLR, of course.
Are you in a helicopter right now, Nadir? There's some sort of air rushing past your microphone or something?
That's how he makes the noise, man. That's what he does for us.
Yeah. I was really bored by that game. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I thought it was terrible. Come on, guys. Try harder. Hiss, just one more question. Was that a call by you to make that back cap right at the end of Kyler and Rake, or was that just their own initiative?
I can't specifically remember that last one. It was all a bit of a blur, but we did try to get behind a few times and cost us. And I know that they were going to try getting behind, but I think that was made by them, that very last one.
Okay.
Right, I can't recall who that was, but
it was Rake. Surely it was Rake, the mastermind. That's who I was giving credit to anyway.
There were like weird things happening in our mumble when that back up happened. Like Stark was so ego and pushing because we couldn't really back behind without losing it. We had 1 minute, so it was, if we went back for it, we would have lost anyways. So when the backup was called, our team was kind of split. Like half of us went back for it and half of us kept pushing. But in fact, we all should be pushing because there was only 1 minute left. There was no way we could have won without capping middle faster than they could cap second.
Well, it was 2-2 at that point, so you could have actually
it was 3-2.
No, it wasn't. It was 2-2. It was 2-2 because the map ended up on 3-2, and that would have been the final round that they capped. So it would have been 2-2. So you could have surely gone back for it, dealt with it, and then turtled a little bit for the next 30 seconds and taken it to a golden cap.
Is that they were pushing also for the win. I got the impression because they had the advantage at one stage, and I got a pick onto Stark at top right from my perspective, and that kind of messed them up. And then Calho went down to a bomb from Huey, I think, on our top left. I think that's where it kind of broke up the play.
Yeah, and the heavy really annoyed us as well, and that doesn't help the situation. Had you not gone heavy, I think it would have been a lot easier. because you went heavy to slow the game. Like both of our teams are pretty used to slowing the game down and be at their own pace. But when you went heavy, it kind of just went more extra HP, and therefore you could slow the game to your advantage and not to our advantage.
Both teams looking like they want to keep it at their own speed. Looking at that, I mean, looking at both logs, I think with a little bit of Crit's help, Huey out damaging Hiss most, and in fact both maps. Huey, do you feel that you were outplaying him on mids or anything, or?
No, the mids were awful because on Badlands particularly, I got the rollout right like once, I think, and the rest rollouts were bad. So most of the time, Heis was at the middle when I just arrived to like house or something, and he got a lot of damage onto me, so it was difficult for me. I don't know what happened to me, but I haven't had such a bad day, like where I couldn't hit rollouts. So
from like the team perspective, like if you look at the logs, you can see that Reverto actually won 5 medals compared to 3 of TLR on Badlands, and on Metalworks it was even more in favor of Reverto. It was like 5-1 in terms of those first caps. Why couldn't you guys convert that, your success on Metal, into round wins, a map win?
We kind of started rushing it. Like we were 2 points ahead, so we kind of were a bit uneasy in losing points afterwards. So when it was 2-2, there's extra pressure on it, and I think we kind of, because there were so many times where we had to push out from last, and I think we kind of rushed out a bit, so we lost a person, either Huey or Stark, a bit early. And then after that, not having soldiers or them man on that map really hurts you in the end. So I think when we were pushed backwards, it was kind of hard for us to come back because we were rushing it a bit. It's a bit, it's like, because of our roster issues this late week, we've not really been practicing that much because we've been trying to find a replacement because we didn't even know that Apish couldn't play until 2 days ago, I think. That's when he came with like a big story that he can't finish the season with us. Yeah,
that's what I wanted to ask you about as well. Like, I was going to lead into it jokingly by asking you, like, you've used GF18 twice as a merc and you've lost both those officials. Will he be called up for a third one? But
most likely, if he can play, he will probably be. We have there's some things that we're just discussing right now to like drop ESEA and just finish the season and then see what we can do the next season.
Another team to drop ESEA. Oh my god! I've seen a few full teams in there already.
Because with our current lineup, where we don't have we don't have a full roster anymore, so.
Yeah, on ESEA there's no
too much
mercs allowed.
There's literally, we have to play like 5 officials a week, so it's a bit too much when you don't even have a roster.
And like, it's been pretty apparent that Aphid himself hasn't been able to play, but is it true as well that Bar is also going to be stepping down, or that he has some...
Bar is probably going to the army in March, so we will probably be finding a new medic afterwards as well, yeah.
And the medics hit our
They'll be with you for the end of this season, yeah?
Because the next season will probably happen after Christmas, I think.
Yeah,
so it will go over in March, so you can't play then. So we kind of need a new medic then, yeah.
And let's talk about scout trials then. Aphid is going to have to be replaced. Who have you got on your radar? Who are you looking at the minute?
Literally no one.
Well, I was looking in stream chat earlier, and I think it was Kratos calling out that maybe GF18 going to be coming to trial for you, but I'm pretty sure he's taking the piss.
Would you poach GF18 from Phoenix? Would you do that?
No, we wouldn't poach him from this season at least.
Ooh. Is that a promise?
But if he wants to join us, then our arms are open. I think we kind of need to try some other scouts and see what happens, but if he wants to leave his team, then that's not our decision, that's his decision.
Oh, you're not going to poach him, but you're just going to say, buddy, the door's open. If you want to play in the Prem with the big dogs, come ahead. I like it.
We're nice guys.
And let's ask the last resort then. We've heard Nadir's feedback on how he found his first game, but Heis, do you want to call Nadir out? Is he everything you hoped? Is he terrible? What does he need to improve on?
I guess that's how I wanted him to come on, because I think he's been like really impressive. The way he contributes to like our communication and our syncing and stuff is much better now with Nadir. Like what we were kind of looking for qualities that Trax had when he played with us, and I think Nadir's got a lot of those. So I think he's done really well.
Terrible at getting frags. That was a quality I would attribute to Traxantic. And the Deer did the same. Bottom frag in both maps, you know?
Yeah, it's like,
gonna put the heat on, bring the fire.
It's like damage though, isn't it? Who cares? I mean, you can do as much damage as you want, but if you lose the game, then it doesn't really mean much, does it?
He still won, but
That
I'm
sounded
just
like
saying.
a call out to me.
I'm saying he was carried a little bit, you know?
Well, some games it's more difficult because when you look at Reverto's playstyle, they play really aggressive with soldiers, so it's difficult to get space as a demo man. We don't really play the same sort of style as Reverto in that respect with the really aggressive soldiers. So he can sit behind and Stark, as you probably see by his healing. He tanks all the heals, which is like what our last lineup played with Cyber. So you can just sit behind and have that cushion to do damage without being pressured very much. So it's difficult to get on Huey to actually prevent him from doing anything. But if you look at Evil Moon's deaths on Badlands, and actually one of them was a drop. In fact, I think it was 2 drops, which he died.
Yeah,
so
2 drops.
2 on,
So if you bear that in mind-
Badlands and 1 on
and
Metalworks.
one of them was my fault because I was trying to delay them on Spire and Huey came main, and I called it. I knew they were flanking, and just as I called it, it literally got 2 stickies in one go, and it was too late for him to pop. And the other one was, I think, to Stark shotgun in top lobby when he was trying to drop
Yeah,
that
like
bomb left.
10 damage short, yeah.
And that was quite some distance, so we were a little bit unfortunate. And 4 deaths is something to really shows our coordination. So it's, I don't know, I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, can't argue with that. Let's just wrap it up here, Ryushi. I don't have anything else to say to these guys.
I'm running out of questions.
Well,
Shout
thanks.
out, don't forget.
Oh, this guy wants to do shout outs. Go ahead, Harry. Shout out.
Shout out to Bar and Jewel. That's it.
Wow, I hope you're happy. Does anybody else want to do a shout out?
No.
Yeah, I'll just shout out our sponsors, Dino PC, Scratchwiz PC, and Plexter, and obviously TLR, and our website, tlr-esports.co.uk.
Thank you. This guy's professional. Well played, Heis. He knows how to handle himself. And
shout out to Stark.
No, he's done.
Stark's going Scout. That's our next lineup.
Okay, Stark on Scout. That would be good, actually. Anybody can play shoulder, right? Get floor, get kills. But
Get
I'll try once more to end this. Do you think I'm going to manage to do it this year? Will someone else come in with a shout out? No. Thank you. This has been Team Fortress TV.
I hate everyone.
With Admirable, Ryushi, and Ducky.
Some professional.
We just covered the ETF2L Season 16 powered by Blackout Gaming Premiership Week 3 fixture. The Last Resort took it in 2 maps against Reverto with a Merc. It was Badlands and Metalworks. You just saw the interviews as well that were a bit of a mixed bag, but you know, maybe we'll do some preparation next time. But I had fun, and I think Ryushi had fun too. Sorry for all those technical issues earlier, all the lag and stuff, but we made it to the end, right, buddy? Oh,
yeah,
Ryushi's
buddy,
just gone.
we made it.
Yeah, buddy.
Wow, how awkward. Thank you. Good night.